to play the Zoe. Obviously, she's got huge range, huge poke potential as well. But most times out of 10, it just does not work, and it becomes more of a liability than an actual strength within these teams. But the interesting team comp here, that I mean, the setup here with Severe and Aatrox is obviously with On the Hunt. Aatrox already gets a movement speed increase anyway with his ultimate, so having On the Hunt as well is going to be a huge combo between these two champions when we see them in team fights, when we see them going for engages. It's going to be really interesting to see how Baguette with Sauerkraut actually counter the movement speed increase from that, especially on the likes of the Aatrox, the Akali, and obviously Severe as well.
Quite like the Brom pick. Not really expected to see a Brom pick. Kind of one of them picks that have really been kind of just, you know, here and there. Like sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not that great, but it's actually really good against the composition of Baguette. And also it's really good to just protect Severe at the same time. You know, the one thing I said is that she has very, very low range. You can get caught out quite a lot of the time, but when you have a Brom by your side, it can make it a lot easier. You know, you can protect with the stand behind me, you can protect with the shield as well, so it's going to make things a lot easier. And the Jace and the Kha'Zix gets locked in, so just like Jace mid lane for the Don, it's going to be Kha'Zix in the jungle for Faille, and you know, expected jungle carry here, and then Camille in the Baron lane for final wax. So some really, really good teams. Team compositions are wrapping things up here with Wukong being the last pick.
Ooh, so Wukong up in the Baron lane hasn't actually come through as much as it used to do in competitive. Obviously, there was a time where Wukong was one of the jungle picks in the meta, but obviously has new champions have been put through and meta has shifted. He's generally taken more of a back seat. So the Wukong onto the Camille is going to be interested for government, but the like of Kha'Zix, obviously we're going to see Kha'Zix first strike more so. More likely than not, the Jace on first strike. I'd be very shocked if we don't see Karma with the first strike as well. Plenty of first strikes coming through, potentially for Sauerkraut. But yeah, like you say, with Brom, if Brom can pretty much themselves very well with it, especially with Hunters, get the movement speeding, he'll be able to take any come in a projectile.
Oh. Blam, we're losing you again.
We're losing you. I'm going.
Your webcam's frozen. We're losing you again. Uh-oh. It's the UK Wi-Fi again.
The UK Wi-Fi has strucken again.
You have frozen, but that's okay.
I'm back.
We don't need your webcam anymore. It's fine. We don't need to see your face anymore, or my face anyway. Time for me to finish the rest of my dinner. Whilst we wait for the 2-minute delay.
The tasty baguettes. I mean, I've never had sauerkraut on a baguette, but I can't eat a government because I'd be then a cannibalist. So let's see how this team and plays and game goes.
Looks like we're not actually going to get Nabil as well. It looks like it's Pawn playing in the support, which, if I remember correctly, is actually a jungle main. So, I mean, I could be wrong. I think the support at the moment for government is normally a jungle main. I could be wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong, Twitch chat. I think it is. But yeah, we will see anyway. But yeah, does mean that they don't have their original support. So I mean, like Solo Bolo not down there. Yeah, we'll see how things go.
Solo Bolo. Trying to catch up, trying to sink in stuff whilst I'm just being silent. I'm not being.
And you're silent because you're sinking. I'm silent because I'm eating.
You're sinking into that bolognese, mate. That's what you're doing. You're sinking into it, and I don't blame you. However,
how do you know I'm having bolognese? That's really weird. I never said I had bolognese.
You did.
Did I? Oh, okay, I did. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't even know what I'm.
The first thing you said when we come back on broadcast.
I don't even know what I'm saying anymore.
That's definitely a meal you use the word for scran. It's bolognese. It's basically the Italian curry. But anything, I need to go food related or I will literally start eating myself. But we've seen a lot of the Braum presence up in the Baron lane. It's generally because the lesser stronger of the two in the Baron lane is definitely the Wukong going into the Camille there. Aatrox is definitely heavily present in that side of the lane and the map as well. Kali, however, potential. Gragas, hello.
Nothing's happening just yet. Wait, there's 4 people mid lane.
There we go. Overextended. Don's on the run.
It's the first time I've seen 4 people mid lane just go for an absolute fiesta. I mean, it does force the flash out.
ARAM, baby.
Yeah,
ARAM.
Does force the flash out from Don and also Monaco, so a bit scary.
Very, very scary. I mean, I would not like to be done in that. Luckily, however, he did manage to escape, so he was definitely well endowed with the escapability of that 4-man gank down into the mid lane, leaving Camille all on a lonesome, and the Wukong is now back into the Baron lane with the Braum as well. They've left the Severe down in the bot lane. Still not much really going on down there. She's currently obviously out XPing the Karma right now, trying to get the Ricochet damage off, but I feel like the Karma's a little bit of a good pick here to go 1v1 on the Severe, because not only does she have the movement speed increase, she can shield herself, she can empower her first ability as well to try and get the AoE damage onto her, especially with the first strike Keystone Rune as well.
A bit interesting. This Gragas is really looks to prioritize this mid lane. I mean, both supports right now are basically acting as a second jungler at the moment, which is something we didn't see in the first series, but it seems to be a lot more popular in this one. Let's see if that changes anything at all. Baron lane matchup at the moment, pretty even.
And I mean, it's already a bit of a better matchup from the last series anyway. I mean, both of the supports definitely have support ruins there, so both going for the glacial augment. So props to the junglers of both of these teams, supports of both of these teams, sorry.
Nothing interesting happening though. 4 minutes into the game. Just a, you know, few little kicks and giggles, I guess, on both teams. Nothing like too crazy at all. No crazy ganks or crazy engages. Gragas might be caught out here though. I stepped up a bit too far.
Kha'Zix is here as well. Camille coming down from the Baron lane. Going over the wall.
Oh my god, everyone's flashing.
The Jace. Nope, Wukong. Please.
Everyone's flashing away and still no kills. 4.5 minutes in this game and 0 kills.
Oh, okay. Carrot Cop going in. Severe has no manja. She recalls. She's safe.
For now.
For now. But yeah, I mean, I think it's the kind of play style that these two teams have. They know what's at stake. They're kind of playing it slow, waiting for that power potential to come through as well. We've got a few lethality items coming through on the side of Baguette here. So Jace building it. We've got the Executioner's Calling on the Kha'Zix as well. So quite big damage items. Oh, Kha'Zix though. Careful. First blood here, please. There we go. First blood for Baguette with Sauerkraut. They are trying to get out of there, but they see the Jace fall down. So Don, however, gets caught out, unfortunately, there. So it is a 1-1 trade. So for something to happen in an engage for both of these teams to look hopeful for the rest of the match is definitely a 1v1 engage. But you don't want Gov to get that Shelly. We kind of want to contest the Shelly. We need Shelly.
Oh my god, that was close. One auto attack, the miss
managed to get it.
The miss smite there from Zealous made things very, very scary for a second there. I thought that the Rift Herald was going to be stolen away. It doesn't get stolen away, and to be honest, the whole time as well, Baguette was not able to take this dragon, so no trade at all in the bot side compared to Rift Herald. It does mean that government will be able to go back to base, spend their money, and get back onto the map.
Absolutely. More importantly, drop that Rift Herald in mid lane. Try and get some of those platings down. A nice little bit fat stack of gold. Can he get the last little jab? Not quite, but the minions are coming through to try and finish off that mid lane turret, which would be a big victory here for Gov in the mid lane, especially with that dragon still up, because you know for a fact you have further to retreat to safety in that mid lane, knowing that your first point of call and safety is mid. But it looks like we are going to get Baguette with the Blue Dragon. Ice Dragon does go to Baguette, so they haven't completely whiffed that first round of jungle objectives. They have taken a 50-50 split there.
Really surprised that actually government gave up on trying to get the dragon in the end, because I really felt like they had the advantage. I mean, they do have quite a few champions that are really good in team fights. You know, Akali, Severe can obviously do extremely well, and also Wukong, but Wukong's been stuck up in the Baron lane, so maybe they just didn't feel confident enough going for the Drake. They just take the Rift Herald, they take that tower in the mid lane, but even though they take the mid lane tower, we are at even gold at the moment, which is not something you want to see if you've taken Rift Herald first.
Oh, absolutely. Knowing that you've got first turret and Rift Herald, and you are pretty much even Stevens in the gold, isn't it's not confidence boost for your team.
Oh, Wukong lives.
But like you say, yep, Wukong is living. We have the Camille there managing to take the damage from the Aatrox as well. Ignite. Oh, not quite taking the Ignite there, but Gragas goes down. Aatrox is still there. Kha'Zix is pretty low. Karma rotates up from mid. No other casualties on the side of Baguette, but however, government do take a 1-0 trade there for themselves, which is a shame because the Kali going in earlier on in that lane, I mean, we saw her tanking the damage on the Aatrox. It seemed like a bit of a bait there, so trying to get the team of Baguette with Seracro quite overconfident going into that engage, and then bring in the squishier champion to the Aatrox, which allowed him to get the kill, which obviously worked in their favor. They've got another kill on the table. They've got to be careful down in this bot lane, though. Braum and Aatrox are pretty close by.
I mean, this is pretty crazy right now.
Whoop, Severe and Aatrox. Severe's got on the hunt as well. It's off cooldown. Are they going to do it? Oh.
Meanwhile, I'm looking at the Baron lane fight. All good.
Absolutely.
Coming in clutch.
Clutchy. Ooh.
Yeah, that's the worst thing I ever said. If I could right now, I would leave this call and ban you.
Gotta get the oohs in there somewhere. I've got a quote to fill, man. But Wukong, oh, okay. A little bit too aggressive there. But I feel like the Baron lane's probably not the best place to be watching right now, because it's just, I don't know, it's just a lot of tit for tat. There's no secured kills. Aatrox is not really getting those ganks that are catching out Camille in the Baron lane either.
It seems to be extremely difficult for both these teams really to get anything going. We've had 3 kills in 9.5 minutes, which is a very slow game for both of these two teams. But as you mentioned, you know, they kind of know what's at stake at the moment. They know that it is a game in the semi-final at hands in front of them right now. We're gonna have to wait and see what happens.
Definitely. I mean, Baron lane is looking better for Baguette. However, obviously, in terms of the turret health, that's the only thing that's really going well for them. However, the Wukong is actually out golding the Camille. So only a few hundred gold, but it's a start. It's a start of something beautiful for Wukong, potentially outplaying the Camille in the Baron lane, who we know is a big pick in the Baron lane, potentially always banned for these drafts. But Wukong's handling it pretty well. I have to give it to him.
Wukong's one of them champions that you just cannot kill. You can say this pretty much about the whole year about how Wukong plays, you know, even after a few changes and a few buffs and nerfs and everything. Like, Wukong as a champion has just been pretty much just the most stable Baron lane champion that you can play. You know, if you don't play Baron lane that much, you could just play Wukong and you're never gonna die. Like, the champion is way too difficult to kill. But they are going to get the tower, though, with the Don and Gragas going up to the Baron lane. Again, Wukong...
Yeah, a bit of an upset there.
Still
bit
okay.
of an upset. We saw a bit of motion in the ocean. I honestly thought it was going to be like that for another good 2 minutes, but Aatrox is in there. We see that Severe and Braum rotating around. On the hunt has not been procted yet. They get bounced back on from to the Gragas, but it's not enough. Monaco does fall.
You see the AoE damage in the end happening there for the Severe, you know, with the crazy amount of extra damage you're able to do. Can they steal this dragon? No, they can't. The dragon does get taken away there. Oh, the ignite! The shielding! Is it enough? Does Carrot Cop die? I think Carrot Cop lives on 1 HP. He does. My God.
Oh my days. He was clutching at straws with his life. That was not the scran that he wanted. It was definitely what he deserved, though. The deserve to live after getting a second dragon for Baguette. Hextech ultimatum onto the Braum, but Braum's shield is taking a lot of the damage. Camille is having to go under the turret, however. Still not getting the Braum. What is it with these low health champions just getting away? It's like watching Worlds again. Oh, Gragas with the ult. Oh, Baguette. Oh, okay. 3-0, 3-1 trade. I'll take that. I'm pretty sure Baguette will take that. Don does go down, but we could see Aatrox getting another kill here. Gets onto the Gragas. It's a 3-2 trade. However, we see that Camille puts a stop to the demon in the jungle.
It's very difficult at the moment. The Wukong trying to look for the flank, but I don't think the Wukong actually wants to be there right now. I think the Wukong actually might go down himself. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I really don't think he wanted to be there at that moment. And Baguette finally find an opening that they needed. A few little picks here and there was able to help them find that advantage.
Yeah, that was a huge engage for them. However, though, I have to give props to Zealous on the Aatrox there, managing to actually get something out of nothing. So bring in a 3-0 trade, 3-1 trade to a 3-2. But however, Baguette do manage to get that 3 kills and the second tier turret down in the bot lane because Monkey See and Monkey Do, Wukong went in, even though we both, in that situation, were like, yeah, nah, I'm dipping. See you later. But however, Wukong thought, you know what? YOLO, you only live once. Let's see what I can do with this really bad placement. It's only a matter of time before blue team catch me out. So he just bit the bullet. He bit the bullet, went over the wall, and suffered the wrath of God.
Ay, ay, ay. It's a bit crazy right now. Very back and forth. Yep. Back and forth at the moment. I mean, the big massive goal lead at the moment is in that mid lane with the Don. Saying that, Gragas does need to be careful here. Flash away. He's probably going to live with that flash away. Yep, he does live. Maybe the counter engage comes in.
Oh! Wukong goes down. Nice play there by Don, however. That Gragas barrel really helped split that team fight and get the Gragas out of the Jace out of into the equation, and then the Wukong out of the equation. It is a consequence, reaction, but we see Camille pushing that bot lane, hopefully taking in a first inhibitor at 14 minutes. We had such a slow game, and it's now quicking up the pace. The heat has been turned to 11. We see that the Braum gets taken down, so Don is running away with the gold and with the kills currently. And then Camille is just taking turrets and taking names. Baron Nashor is looking to be taken down by Baguette with Sauerkraut. It looks like that this could be a one-up for Baguette, which could be huge going into the playoffs. And for them mentally, going against Government, Baguette's... I honestly didn't see it because Government have played so well, but then watching Baguette for the past, like, few weeks in the groups has been amazing. And I know what this team's capable of, and they are definitely showing it here at the playoffs.
Doing incredibly well right now. Baby Hope does get caught out a bit there. Does need to be a little bit careful. Had to use the flash and the exhaust to get away there, and this is one of the main problems with Severe now, is that you don't have the range, you don't have the damage potential really to win in these fights. It becomes very difficult, and that's one of the weaknesses, in my opinion, of this champion. You can see that one inhibitor goes down, another inhibitor will probably go down the top in the top lane as well, but not before the Gragas will be the Wukong, sorry, will be taken down. The Kha'Zix is unstoppable this game. Zealous flashes in. He's a madman, but he dies anyway, and this should be game over.
It is looking pretty Jova. We do have the Baron Nashor minions at the Nexus. There is 2 alive on the side of Government, and that is enough to overthrow the Government in game 1. We see Baguette with Sauerkraut taking the Nexus, and they were looking for an ace to finish it off perfectly to put some mental boom on Government here. And, oh, wow, what an upset. Baguette take round 1 in the best of 5.
Very good performance by Baguette. Obviously a bit, you know, a bit of change arounds in terms of rosters, in terms of both of these teams. So I think it's a A little bit difficult. Like I said, you don't have Solo Bolo on the side of government, and also I'm not too sure if they're playing their starting Baron laner
I don't think
as well. I don't. Wait, let me check. Na 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 na. Where's Rosters?
Rosta.
Oh,
We
they
know
have.
has been pretty much a write-off. I had mixed emotions about Kaiser in the group stages and qualifiers. She would either, just like the Ornn, be fantastic or get absolutely trashed. We do see Ornn come through, ever, for government this time around, so those massive Ornn ultimates going into these huge engages, I think, will be a lot better than the Braum pick, however. We see Lee Sin come through. Even though Kha'Zix has not been banned, they decide to switch things up and go for the Lee Sin. However, Baguette decide to ban out the Severe just in case she gets picked up again, and they cook with her, and then Karma gets hit there as well. So that's very interesting to see Karma get banned, but Carrot Cop did a fantastic job. No kills, but absolute strength to his team he was.
Interesting how this composition is going to wrap up then. So with the Corki being picked up, maybe expecting to see a Corki mid lane here. We'll have to wait and see. Or it could be that Corki down in that dual lane as well. Again, very interesting pickup that we don't really see too much. Zeri, be very surprised if we see a Zeri, to be honest, but it is going to be the Fiora in the Baron lane for Final Works, one of his most comfortable champions, which means that the Greg is probably going to go down the bot lane, at least in the jungle. So it's really just that flexibility of the Corki. Where do you want to put that Corki? Is it in the mid lane? Is it in the bot lane? The great thing is they're going to see the whole of government's composition before they get to decide what they want to do.
Absolutely. So it looks like we're going to get the Ornn in the Baron lane, like you said. Nautilus is going to go down in the duo lane with whoever this final pick will be. Would it be like the Varus? Varus is still up for grabs. Okay, potential Xayah. Chill. We will have a big Xayah van on the casting desk already. Stu, you will be able to completely judge this one. But no. Oh, okay. Yep. We thought it was going to be the Tristana going in that last little bit, but no, Xayah comes through. So, like I said already originally, that Xayah and Zeri have had a big presence within the group stages, and we see it come through.
Very interesting to see. I mean, the great thing about the Xayah in this composition is that you have so much frontline anyway. You know, you got the Nautilus, the Ornn, and the Aatrox. Yasuo is going to be the pickup, so it's probably Yasuo mid lane here for the Don. It means it's going to be Corki bot lane. So Xayah might struggle a little bit against the Corki poke in lane and might struggle a little bit in terms of the range matchup. I think as the game goes on, I think Corki will kind of struggle in terms of scaling because he can't really build any of the strong scaling items like Xayah can with like the BT. But as I mentioned, you know, government have a really strong front line with the likes of Ornn and Nautilus, which gives Xayah that little bit of space to be able to auto attack and stack them feathers.
Yeah, this is something that was very familiar and was pretty much a guaranteed win throughout the group stages, is when you saw a team come through with like a solid front line, like with the likes of the Ornn, the Aatrox, the Nautilus, and then you'd have some sort of assassin like the Akali, and then, like you say, Xayah has a lot of breathing room just to absolutely pelt any of the squishy champions with her auto attacks, and then obviously try and root with her ultimate, especially with her attack speed increase on one of her abilities as well. But I feel like with the Yasuo, we see Dawn play quite a bit. It's actually pretty lethal at the moment, it seems. But however that's going to play out in these team fights is going to be yet to be seen, because obviously a huge front line with the Yasuo generally doesn't go too well unless they manage to pick off successfully the likes of the Xayah, so the damage pretty much gets negated out the gate. But with the likes of Gragas, so like we said already,
Here we go. Don't ask where that came from, but you know.
Absolutely, I bet you'd be listening to Buster, haven't you, the Thunderbirds theme. What a throwback. A boomer like me can remember that. Most of the people in the chat probably too young. But we're probably going to get a big, feisty, fast-paced game. Government taking first blood already. 25 seconds in is a huge contrast to that first game where we plodded and plodded and plodded, but this time around government's like, nah, let's switch up the pace, let's get the heat cooking. Let's have us some fried baguette with sauerkraut.
I mean, that's the government. That's the start the government needed. I was about to say that's the government the start needed. Oh, we're getting my words in a twist here.
Why not? Why not?
Definitely the start the government needed in this game, especially because of the disappointing starting game number 1. But it does give a bit of a goal lead up to this Ornn in the Baron lane. It does mean that obviously with Ornn, with his passive, he can try and get his items a lot quicker. Doesn't even need to go back to base. That's going to be very, very handy.
Yeah, very handy. I think maybe government just used that first match to lull Baguette into a false sense of security with the slow, ploddy pace. Maybe they was expecting the same thing on the side of Baguette here, but we're getting a 3-on-1 gank here. 4-on-1. Yasuo's coming around as well. He wants a family trip out. Oh, Ornn takes down Lee Sin. They do get a 1-1 trade. However, Aatrox and the... Nautilus and the Akali are rotating around. All I could see was a black helmet, and I thought it was Aatrox. My bad.
You're bad, you're bad. But meanwhile, the Aatrox is stealing the blue buff in the bot side. So it means whilst the Lee Sin was tower diving, he's just taken away his farms, he's taken away his camps. So you'll be pretty happy with that one. And so far, looks like government do have a bit of a lead. As you mentioned, you know, that Ornn getting that kill in return to dying is really, really huge. You know, as long as you get that 1-for-1 trade, it's really, really nice. Yeah,
absolutely.
So far, so good.
And I mean, it's looking good down in the bot lane for Xayah currently. She's already up in gold. Lee Sin looking to rotate down there as well. I think she's hopefully trying to think of a gank in there onto the Xayah, but Xayah's already recalled. Xayah's already having the time of her life. She's built the Gluttonous Greaves, therefore pretty solid item for ADCs right now is for viability as well. Yasuo, Dawn overextended in the mid lane, Nautilus and the Akali are there as well. I'm not too sure what's going to potentially pop off there in the mid lane, but I think something beautiful may happen very soon, especially with the Lee Sin coming through.
No, it's like a little bit of engage actually is coming in. The flash as well from the Gragas, and oh, he knocked the Akali back underneath the tower. Oh no, I felt like this whole series, Monaco has been caught countless amount of times, but somehow he just makes it into a play himself. And what a play that was, knocking Akali underneath the tower, and then Yasuo ulti on top of that. Oh my, how does he do it?
Yeah, I feel like Monaco's playstyle is just like the fighting technique of the Drunken Hand, where it's just completely messy, but at the same time, it is completely competent and is definitely doing things with potential ints that you would think, yeah, this is a complete throw here. However, then just comes around and actually manages to score something for his team. So props to Monaco on the Gragas. I feel like Gragas is one of his big picks, especially throughout the group stages as well. Like I said, Gragas being able to upset the Ornn ult as well. I'm really looking forward and closely looking forward to Monaco doing that. I saw it quite a few times previously, so being able to completely mess up the motion of the ocean, sorry, into the team fights with the Ornn ult already straight away is going to be something that I'm looking for and I'm betting on.
Exciting, exciting. Objective spawn in 25 seconds. Solari Charge Blade nearly finished for the Don, which will be a huge spike for him. See if he can go back to base and finish the item. I think he just went... Oh no, he didn't go back to base. It's the Corki that went back to base. But the Gragas and the Yasuo are both going back to base. Did he afford it? No, he couldn't afford the Solari Charge Blade, unfortunately. But you can see most of the members of Baguette are heading towards this top side. And they're going to try and secure this Rift Herald to start things off.
Yeah, you can kind of see the government are looking for that dragon again. We saw Baguette hopefully looking to set up a gank pre-Rift Herald there. We've got Ornn rotating up through, trying to stop the Rift Herald takedown here, which could be a already failed start for government. However, they do both get... So Rift Herald is taken by Baguette, and then we see the dragon get taken by government once again, so... Oh, Gragas is ult completely with him there. Nice. There's the Ornn ult. Big baby. Only a double knock up there for Ornn, but I don't think he even got hit by the ultimate. It was just Ornn going in with his charge that secured that knockup. Looking a bit messy here for Baguette in the mid lane.
Yeah, the Ornn ultimate was actually blocked there by Don with the Yasuo wall, so really, really smart there from the Don to catch that off.
Who would have thought a wind wall could stop a big old tusky thing?
Me.
You. I've done the science, Blam. Shut up.
Yeah, me. I knew that. You know, all you have to do is just look at the game. Hey. It works, it works. Hey, hey.
Realistically, though, if you saw that coming towards you and somebody put up a wind wall, you'd be like, nah, I'm still moving out of the way. Thank you very much. It is a nice gesture,
true.
but I'm moving out the way, so.
I guess you're not wrong.
I'm looking with logic and facts, Stu.
I'll give you that.
Not the way that the game plays.
I'll give you that, I guess. And so far, it's even on golds. The favor, you would say, is in government's hands at the moment, since they have the extra objective with the dragon. Rift Herald is still in the hands, though, of... yeah, they are going to use the Rift Herald mid lane. And the turret placings are still going to stay up as well. So they are going to get a little bit of gold from the tower platings in mid, which is going to give them a gold lead now. And they're rotating as a team right now into bot lane. So they are taking a lot of tower platings right now. And you can see they're just moving around as a group. But Nautilus is here to play.
Oh. Double knock up for Nautilus. Nicely done. Bringing in the Gragas again. Monaco potentially getting caught out. No, it's Yasuo. Sorry, Yasuo getting caught out there. I'm trying to look from a tiny screen. But they do get a 1-1 trade there, so it's not a be-all, end-all for Baguette. But Xayah going back in with the flash, getting the kill onto the Gragas. So Gragas does fall down, ignite onto the Lee Sin. Not quite clutch enough getting the honeydew fruit. However, for Lee Sin in Baguette with Seracrow. But they're going to take the mid lane. They do start it in the bot lane. Take a few trades, but then they do, however, get that mid lane turret, which is where Shelly did drop.
Bit of a madness at the moment. Bit of a, well, very scrappy game at the moment, to be honest with you. There is so much happening at the moment in this game. So many fights, so many plays across the entire map. And you can see that both these teams at the moment are trying their best to get as much gold in their pockets as possible. Monaco again getting caught out, but does survive. It's just Gragas doing Gragas things.
Absolutely. I mean, however, it's a very small gold lead, but they have managed to bring it inside of Baguette with Seracrow, which is all thanks to the trade down in the bot lane, the very scrappy trade down in the bot lane. But we get a pick off there for Baguette, taking out the Akali once again. And Fiora's not done. Fiora wants the Ornn, baby. Ice, ice, baby. Final wax on the Fiora is definitely living up to expectations, which is really weird because I think, obviously, Fiora in certain series of Rift Legends was just like, if Camille's banned, Ornn's banned, Fiora's banned, sorry. But there's so many times we see Fiora still set up that she still doesn't get banned, and I feel like if government knew that Final Wax was performing so well on the Fiora, I don't think it would have come through in this second round of the series. But it's looking very promising still for Baguette. Jesus, why was that so hard to say?
I don't know what you're trying to say. What are you trying to say? What?
I was trying to say it's looking very good for Baguette, but I said Fiora so much that I just like forgot how to say four. I was trying to say four, but with the Fior. It just wasn't making it yet. My mouth went.
Learn English, bruv.
Yeah, I think I need Duolingo for English.
Your Duolingo straight could be through the roof.
Yeah. What's right? Read, red, or red. The color.
No, I'm not going down an English school lesson, but I'll see how this fight goes.
Big engage. Oh, okay. Close to taking out the Ornn early doors, but we do see that Ornn falls down as well as the Yasuo. 2-1 trade currently for government. Triple Oh, triple kill for the Akali. Nicely done. Government really bringing it back with that dragon fight. And it just shows that all it takes is just one great dragon fight for your team to bring them back into the fight. Yes, they're not quite there with the gold, but I feel like this is going to be a mid takedown and a dual lane takedown whilst Fiora's trying to work her magic on the Baron lane.
Very interesting. You know, the crazy thing is that even though government won that last fight and did get a triple kill and does have a kill lead, they don't have a gold lead. Well, they do, but it's like 200. Well, actually, no, it's getting higher now.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy, to be fair. You can just tell the, you know, Fiora's getting quite a lot of gold. You can see Fiora has the gold lead at the moment. And the big lead is actually in that jungle at the moment for the side of Baguette. Faille look doing incredibly well in the jungle right now. Yeah, the team fight was a little bit crazy. It was just Akali really just, again, Akali doing Akali things, jumping onto the back line, just doing so much damage.
Absolutely. I mean, we're still seeing Baby Hope here, though. Xayah, a 0 death run currently. Got the Bloodthirst, the first item. Gluttonous Greaves. And then basically the replacement of Static Shiv. I always forget this item because I never build it. And then Executioner's Calling, obviously for the healing on the side of the Fiora. But yeah, I mean, the Xayah pick is definitely working for government here. Like we said, the mid lane in the early game definitely felt like it was going to go for the Yasuo, but you see that Akali turning around. So Heaven doing pretty well in the mid lane for government, keeping that gold lead fresh and funky for the mid lane.
A triple kill definitely helping him out because he was 0-2 before and now he's 3-2. So I think that triple kill helping him out. You can see Corki going for the 24th build. The 24th that did recently get buffed. You get more AD now, and it's like it's 200 gold cheaper. He did some really, really crazy buffs actually for 24th, where there's a lot more champions now actually wanting to build 24th, like the likes of Lee Sin, and the pick in the mid lane. Ornn does get picked off, and it does mean that they might even get a tier 2 tower in mid lane, but I don't think, no, they don't have a wave. They're just going to turn straight to Baron.
Yep, turn straight to Baron, try and help give Final Wax some more utility in his push. They do get a second tier turret down in the bot lane as well. Oh, hey, a little bit overextended there. Got the Ignite onto the Akali. Oh, I'm trying to pick up the Lee Sin. They do get Lee Sin. Oh, there we go. Monaco finally getting that glory hour with the kill. But Nautilus is still here with the Aatrox. I don't think they're going to try and go for a push here. Thanks to the Fiora, though, pushing straight to an inhibitor is really giving government a bit of pressure there, because if it wasn't for Final Wax down in the bot lane, I feel like that all the government could have been there. It could have been a huge upset once again for Baguette. Could still potentially be. Here comes the Ornn ult. Not a single knockup. Brilliant.
It's pretty crazy, actually, that Heaven was still able to find the Lee Sin, because if Heaven dies there, then I think the Baguette could definitely look towards the Baron, but Heaven actually killing the Lee Sin completely stopped that Baron take for even becoming a possibility. But like you said, the Fiora split push at the moment, really, really difficult for the side of government to deal with, because they have this Ornn pick. You know, Hullbreaker has now been completed for this Fiora, so if it was difficult before to try and kill this Fiora, now it's going to be even more difficult in that side lane. The split push potential now of this Fiora is going to be off the charts.
Absolutely, and now she's run away with a gold lead as well. She's now 11k from a 9.2k as well, so almost just a solid 2k in that lane alone. But that is what split pushings will do for you. Obviously, say the Hullbreaker has been built with Manamune as well, with the Divine Sunder, because they have such health. Big health champions on the side of government. I didn't know where I was going to go for that originally, and I completely rewrote my sentence. But yeah, I mean, it's all it takes is one good team fight here, though, for government. It's still really close within the actual overall goal difference, but I feel like the dragons could really be the win condition here for government.
You know, all they need is one more dragon for that dragon soul. You can see Heaven is the one. You see Heaven is the one that actually has to try and deal with this Fiora. You can see the Final Wax is feeling tasty. He's trying to go in. Heaven's used one ultimate already. Use the other one. Oh no, the stasis, the timing, the barrier. Maybe just one more Q. Heaven jumps over the wall. But this is just so difficult. You can see that no one can deal with Final Wax at the moment.
Oh,
he's going to get inhibited for free.
I was gonna say it was potential backdoor there, but I think that was very well played by Final Wax there. Managed to get the Akali so down, low in health, that she just did not have the confidence to try even stop that inevitable takedown. But we've got a teleport coming in from Final Wax into the team fight. Aatrox looking pretty low. We already see that there is the Ignite onto Fiora to stop the healing potential, but it's looking like a 2-1 trade. We do see Final Wax go down. Finally, Xayah goes down. There is no death run already completed. It has been demolished. Down goes the Nautilus. Oh, Heaven is still in on it. Oh, can he get the last person on the team? Triple kill for Heaven once again. But Lee Sin is going to upset this Dragon Soul potentially. I don't think Akali's going to be able to make that distance. She cannot go the distance.
Heaven is really the difference maker in every single one of these team fights. Heaven is completely popping off. Did actually lose that 1v1 in the bot lane, but Heaven surviving meant that he can go back to base, heal back up, and then join that team fight later on and pretty much clean up the whole team fight as well. Another triple kill, a second triple kill of the game already. But like you said, the big thing is that you know, Ferox was able to keep himself alive. The Lee Sin was able to stay alive. And that means that the dragon is going to go in the hands of Baguette, and that does stop the Dragon Soul for government. But this is such a close game that anyone can still win it, because even though that gold lead is in the hands of, oh no, the Ornn, oh, the parry timing is beautiful. Final Wax, what a beautiful 1 versus 1. And yeah, this Fiora has turned into a monster of a problem for government.
Yeah, I can only describe Final Max's plays as like a Russian ballet lady person. But it's just so graceful. Just watch him play the Fiora, because like you say, just the parries are so well timed that just negates everything. And that's the beauty of the Fiora champ, is just if you can utilize that parry to whatever extent you need it to, she just literally becomes a hard carry. And we're seeing it right now with Final Wax. He is currently 3-1 for 40, he's 4k alone up in the Baron lane. They get the Baron Nashor on the side of Baguette, and I think this could be a huge upset, taking Baguette with Sauerkraut into a 2-0. What looked like a very intense early game for government. We saw the first blood pretty much at 45 seconds, pretty huge. We saw a big fight for the second dragon, which really could have upset Baguette with Sauerkraut's victory. And now we see Baguette actually going for the Elder Dragon. They get the 2 final objectives in the jungle to try and finish off and wrap up this 18-minute match.
Oh my god, Final Wax, this Fiora is so disgusting. Look, it's a 1 versus 3, and no one could do anything against this Fiora. This Manamune is fully stacked up. They're going to get all 3 inhibitors as well. The Aatrox is going to go down. Zealous is not one for this world. Another kill in the end, 3 kills to none. And it does mean that Baguette is going to take game number 2. And what was a much closer game for Baguette again, just when it comes to team fights, it was so close, but they're just able to get gold leads, small little gold leads across the whole map, where they group up, they take objectives very quickly, and that's really the big difference. But my god, like, Heaven really tried his best this game, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, the focus, I mean, we saw a lot of focus in the last season on Zealous being like one of the big players on government. Obviously, Heaven has always been a big player as well, but for those 2 matches, you can kind of see that Heaven's shoulders are getting wary now. Is with the single target knockups. We might see the Ornn come through again. I don't know if we will, however. I just don't know. The Vi pick is definitely better. It's definitely on the right path to a potential silver scrapes for government. I mean, I would love to see it. I'd love to see a lot more games. But the Caster lock-in is a little bit of a weird one. I've seen Dom play it a few times, so it's not something out of the ordinary, but it's definitely not the usual.
Yeah, I mean, very much scaling champion. You know, the Caster, you know, needs a lot of time, a lot of time. And that again, kind of what I just said about the Vladimir as well. You know, Vladimir is going to have such a easy time against the Caster. You know, going to be able to scale up. We've got 2 heavy scaling champions in the mid lane. You know, both the Vladimir and the Caster are going to take a long time to get online, but once they do get online, They are extremely powerful, and you can see the bans as well. Severe being banned. Ornn, Camille, and Yone are the bans. So a few Baron lane bans over to Final Wax in the Baron lane.
Yep, just as I was fighting with pins and needles in my left leg, seeing that Ornn ban come through was definitely didn't help things. It definitely exacerbated the pins and needles there that I was feeling sat on my my left leg for quite some time. But anyway, back onto the draft picks. So we said the Yone ban come through, Camille ban come through. I think it'd be a bit silly leaving the Camille open, knowing that Baguettes do not have a Baron laner yet. Severe ban once again, and I think the Ornn ban is definitely well called for. It's going to be interesting to see Carrot Cop on the Xayah though. So 2 games in a row, 2 Xayahs. Stu is definitely in his element.
I'm keeping my excitement in at the moment. You know, my excitement is going through the roof.
It sounds like it, mate. It's bubbling. It is bubbling.
To be honest, I'm used to seeing Xayah now. You know, it's fun at the start when Xayah was being picked up for like the first time. Now it's kind of normal. You know, everyone just picks up Xayah. Everyone's just jumping on the Xayah bandwagon. You know, everyone. I was like the only one who was like, oh, you know, Xayah's really good. Now look at all these players. You know, now they're picking up. They think that they know it all, and really, it's just me. No, I'm kidding. But looks like it's going to be
Stu's gatekeeping confirmed. Stu's gatekeeping in the Xayah pick.
This is really weird now. I do not know what's happening on the side of government with these picks. These picks are a bit all over the place,
especially with the Lucian in the mix.
Nautilus support, Lucian mid, Karma bot lane, Vladimir top, I guess. I mean, I would have really liked to see the Vladimir go into the mid lane against this Cassidy. Against the Jax can be a little bit difficult. Obviously, he has the pull if he does jump back in. It could be fine for the Vladimir, but again, there's not really anyone that can defend against this Jax. Who the hell is defending against this Jax in the late game? Vladimir can't defend against the Jax. Lucian definitely can't, and there's no one else anyway. So it's like it already becomes a bit of a draft diff, in my opinion, for Baguette. Again, you know, they have the scaling, they have the one-shot potential, they have the early game pressure as well. And then Jax, as long as he doesn't get too far behind, and just build Hullbreaker, go into a side lane, and just keep on pushing.
Yeah, definitely. It's really weird that they bring out this funky draft pick, which could be potentially be the last game of the series. Maybe it's a mental boom from government. Maybe they're just pretty much giving up as they feel like they've already lost it. But true government fashion, they didn't get themselves into order. So fantastic. Thank you, government. But yeah, the Lucian pick, very weird. I just remember the moment so vividly. It's just like, yeah, everyone, let's get against the wall. And then the lights just went out. It's just like, yeah, we had one good photo. That's it. See you later.
Oh my god, it's crazy. Oh my god, they're gonna get another kill again. Government. Oh my god, this is 2 games in a row now. Government have got kills. Is this 2 kills? Oh, close.
Very, very close. Jax on the run. Final Wax is Jackson all over the place.
And you've turned into a robot again.
I mean, would it be a cast without being
there you go. You're good. Oh, Don's actually going to go in the Baron. Wait, this is really interesting. I mean, I guess he wants the easier. You know, I didn't actually think of it in a way of like, you know, Vladimir doesn't do that well in the Baron lane, obviously, as we know. But the big thing is that Lucian completely shits on Cassidy in the mid lane. Like, it's not even close. Like, Lucian just has a field day against Cassidy in the mid lane. So I can understand why Don and Final Wax has actually swapped lanes. It is going to mean that Vladimir is going to have an easier time, but it does mean that maybe, hold on a second, Ferox, body slam as well.
Ooh,
cheeky little kill.
Nicely done.
My god, this is turning into a crazy fiesta. What is going on? Everyone's dashing in, everyone's flashing in, going absolutely crazy.
Well, it is festivity times, and dashing through the snow, it wouldn't be a Rift Legends playoffs if there wasn't any sort of dashing through snow or through the rift. So fair play to government for dashing around. It's a beautiful display of festivities.
Dashing through the snow. And the more hearts open sleigh. Oh, the fields we
Over
go.
the hills we go.
What the hell is going on?
Lucian's dead. Oh, yay. So that's a 1-1 trade, though, up in the Baron lane. So
The bait, the Jax is coming in. Hold on a second. Oh, Monaco. Oh, the bait.
oh,
Baited again. Oh, now Zealous is going to come in. Okay, can the action just stop for like 2 seconds? I swear we've had fight after fight after fight for like the past, like, the minute. Like, it's just everyone is top lane. It's just a complete fiesta. Like, what is going on?
it's ARAM in the top lane.
It's beginning to look a lot like Wild Rift.
ARAM.
Oh, close enough, I guess. Close enough.
Close enough. Close enough. Right, I think I've managed to sync my game up ever so slightly. Oh, mate, that could be more perfect if I tried. Jeez. Right. Okay, so... But, yeah, 3 up to Baguette already. There was a bit of an upset earlier on from Government with that first blood. Again, they do love that mid lane gank. Seems like it worked twice, so why not?
Bit crazy to start things off. You can see Heaven is going towards the Manamune solo lane build. So maybe give himself a little bit more tankiness, a little bit more, you know, solo damage, I guess you can say, against the likes of, you know, Jax, which is going to find it very, very difficult later on. But you can see that they both lane swapped again now. You can see how difficult it finds it, you know, Vladimir finds it. You know, you're not really doing that much damage. You're getting traded by grasping on dying pretty much every single time as well. And it's become so difficult to deal with. But Ferox coming up here as well. Zealous. Oh, nice little dash away there from Ferox. Needs to be a little bit careful though, because there is also Nautus coming up here. Everything is happening in this Baron lane, Blam. Like, what is going on?
Yep, it's the place to be. Clearly, it is Friday night. You got your dancing shoes on. Everyone's in the Baron lane. Everyone's dashing. Everyone's having a jolly old time. Jax is pretty happy. He's pretty happy where he is right now in terms of his gold, his kits. He has all his abilities. So I think that was probably like the main goal of the switch up there, was just sort of make sure that it wasn't a clap early game against the Vladimir or the Jax. But yeah, it's even though once again it's like a perfect mixture of the first and the second game. It's like some action happens, then it stops, and then it pauses, and then it goes again. And I think it's just Government trying to find a foot and trying to find a way in. But I feel like this Vi pick will have a potential at some point. But both of the jungle objectives are up. Mountain Dragon first. Will we see Government actually go for Shelly this time? Or will they decide to try and go for the dragon to get the Dragon Soul, which they haven't been successful in yet?
Looks like they're actually going to swap things around this time, so it's going to be Baguette now picking up the dragon and Government going for the Rift Herald. So different to how this series is completely gone. I wonder how that's going to shift things up. It does mean that Government are going to be a little bit slow on his bot lane play, and there is actually a bot lane fight happening at the moment. But with that Vladimir, with the pull, it does mean that it becomes a lot easier for the Vladimir to protect himself against the tower dive, and that's exactly what he was able to do there. Brilliant play by the Vladimir to stop the tower dive and then get the kill afterwards as well.
Yeah, I can say he used the Sanguine Portal very well there. Obviously, it stopped the Grag Assault as well, so there was no bounce back or pushback for the Vladimir. He was pretty much dipped underground. He was like, yo, peace. And still completely countered the Gragas barrel, which Monaco has been very successful with over the past 2 games. So to try and take the shine from Monaco is could be a dampener for the Gragas pick here. We've seen it being exhausted twice already. Whether we'll see it pop off later on. Karma in trouble here. Lead from the Jax, but a little bit too far gone under the turret there for the Jax to come back with. Still has the shield, however, so we could see a claim to fame in the Baron lane from Jax, but the Rifty is dropped down there. They do get the first tier turret in the mid lane for Government, and I think that's the first time in the actual series where they've actually got the first turret of the match.
And see if they could be a bit more proactive now, especially with this mid lane tower going down, because it does open up the map a lot more here for the side of Government, and does allow them to potentially make more and more plays. But The big thing at the moment is being able to try and get a...
Wow.
Bot lane is also, yeah, I think Heaven is having a pretty nice time here down the dual lane, especially against the Kassadin. You can see the Kassadin just really struggles against this Lucian, and this whole time they've tried to put the Kassadin against this Vladimir instead, because Lucian, if this Lucian runs away with this game, then maybe it becomes a little bit more difficult for the Jax to be able to side lane.
Going in through the Drax.
You see
can
how
we get a
difficult it is?
1v1? Oh, I steal.
It's so difficult for the Vladimir to even, you know, play the game against the Jax, and it's kind of a story of two lanes at the moment, with the Jax dominating the Vladimir, but then it's the Lucian dominating the Kassadin. So it really depends on, you know, what one of these two side laners are going to be more of a carry. You see, goalies at the moment, you know, Vladimir still has a gold lead, and also Lucian has over 1,000 gold lead in that mid lane. So both the solo lanes at the moment going in favor of government. And that can really be the difference right now.
Yeah, like you say with the Kassadin, it's one of those. You're really putting a lot of faith onto it. It's one of these champions that doesn't activate till like late game, and if he doesn't get his like foot in the door, he's currently sat at 1-2, whereas the Lucian's 2-1. It's going to struggle. Can he get a 2-1 here onto the Lucian? Oh, Gregor Sparrow, but pushing him further away. Nicely played by Heaven there. Karma pushing the mid lane as well, but can they finally get the Lucian? It's taken 4 people to take down Evan. He's got to be feeling pretty confident right now, and Jax gets taken out in the Baron lane as well. So 1-1 trade across the map.
This is crazy. Both these two teams are just trading left and right at the moment. You know, at the start of this game was a bit of a fiesta in the Baron lane, but now it's just trades in the top side and in the bottom side, and you can see that, you know, government are trying to get this Vladimir ahead, because Vladimir is one of the champions that, again, kind of like Lucian, that if you can get a bit far ahead, can just absolutely dominate the game. Lucian does get, unfortunately, the bad end of the stick here for government, but 2-0 for this Vladimir. 1,500 gold lead. The Kassadin is able to come back against the Lucian, but I think they're trying to scrap the Lucian now, because after a bit of time, if Lucian is even on gold, Lucian just gets outscaled anyway, and it all really comes down to this Vladimir, because Vladimir is the scaling factor on the side of government.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing very well so far. 2-0-1. He's still got his first tier turret on like final wax on the Jax here. Pretty much struggling at the moment in terms of trying to find his foot in the door. However, Nautilus could get caught out here before the jungle objective is up, which could be huge for him, but he does dredge line out of there. Nicely played by Pawn. Something bubbling in the mid lane, though. They're making their way downtown to the Infernal Dragon, but we see that Kassadin gets taken out again. Nautilus still looking pretty low, but he's still in the mix. We see that Vladimir is rotating around as well. He has his Rabadon, so big damage output now for Vladimir, who's already pretty stellar already, but it's going to get better. It's going to get better. They are going to lose the potential Dragon Soul, though.
Oh, this game again is just extremely close, and it's going to come down to these team fights later on. Looking at items at the moment, like you said, the death cap completed in that Baron lane for the Vladimir. Cosmic Drive as well makes it even more difficult to be able to deal with.
Absolutely. Vi is on the run, having to slow down the Jax there as well. Having a quick cheeky look at the board. I mean, to be fair to Don, he's managed to bring it back ever so slightly in terms of the gold. He's not quite peaked the gold lead, but he's only behind by 400 now, which is a better position than where he was previously. ADCs are struggling to get kills, or the APC and ADC are struggling to get kills in this match. But yeah, I mean, the Vi is definitely performing better than the Aatrox. I feel like Vi is doing a lot better in the mix of this. Maybe if we had the Aatrox with Karma, maybe that would have made a little bit of difference here. The Karma is a great pick, and we saw it from Carrot Cop in the first game. Got no kills, but the utility and strength he made for his team was ridiculous.
That can sometimes be the difference. The bot lane play is going to be made here. Well, they don't actually force the engage. Yeah, they don't commit to the engage completely, which is very surprising, considering that Ferox did also use his flash to actually get the engage going there, but he didn't follow up his Qs. Maybe a little bit worried that the rest of the team was going to be there.
Oh, okay. Monaco getting 4v1. No one there to save him. Oh, Vlad getting rooted. Nicely done by Carrot Cop there, but he is looking pretty low. We go with the flash. Oh, bait in the ult, though. That could be huge because this next engage, Xayah does not have her ult anymore.
Movement speed of Vladimir is so difficult to deal with. Has the Ghost, has the movement speed from Cosmic Drive as well. Makes it extremely difficult to deal with. And maybe this is the opening that government needed to try and get back into the series.
Definitely. It looks like this Lucian pick is definitely the solution to the Kassadin pick. I'm sorry. I'll stop. Anyway.
It's okay.
I was brewing that one. Come on, I need a little bit more respect for that one. I was thinking about that.
I'll let you off.
Thank you.
I know.
Can I just get a slap on the wrist, please?
Oh, can't you? Okay. Oh, God.
But no, it definitely looks like this could potentially be a win for government. It's definitely a start of something new here for government. A few low health champions, though. Lee Sin is not going to go in there, which is probably a more sensible option than what he could have done. I felt like I was going to bait the Rift Herald there, but not quite. But this kind of feels like one of those matches where I feel like there should be more kills on the board, but currently...
Oh, did we lose you again, Blam? Hello? I think we lost Blam again. Chat, I think we lost Blam. Hello? Hello, Blam. Oh, we lost Blam. Blam, hello. Hello? 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 Ah, we lost Blam. F's in chat for Blam. Lost him again. Oh god, this Vladimir is just gonna one-shot Don. Oh my god, that damage is absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Disgusting. I mean, this is exactly what government was playing for. They were playing around this Vladimir, trying to get the Vladimir ahead. And that's exactly what they were able to get as well. And it does mean that it's just going to be even more difficult now for them to try and win this game. They might try and go for the Baron here. I'm not too sure. The Dragon is being taken. There's a fight happening here as well, but Vladimir is just taking the bot lane tower for free at the moment. Look at this. A few more auto attacks and the bot lane tower goes down, and that's inhibitor down for government. And they might even turn towards the Baron as well. Uh-oh. Oh, we lost him now for good. He has left the Discord. Uh-oh. Oh, here comes Vladimir again. Look at this champion. It's absolutely disgusting what this Vladimir can do. And it does look like government are finally going to win a game in this series. Oh, the flash actually from Don. Nope. This Vladimir is way too strong to deal with. Like, how does anyone deal with this?
What? I don't know what happened.
I lost you again. Oh.
No.
Hey. Oh. Does he live? Does he have pull? He has ghost, so he lives. Well, you missed everything, Blam, and the government about to win the game.
No, I was watching. I was commentating until I realized I was like, oh, I can't hear myself. Silver scrapes. Silver scrapes.
Silver scrapes. Silver scrapes.
I might have to send you my video feed again. Fuck's sake.
Oh, is it frozen?
It's done something. I don't know what it's done, but it's done something.
What have you done? Ah!
What have you done to me?
Okay, just send me a link again. That's fine. Anyway, after all the shenanigans, government, pretty convincing win in the end, playing around this Vladimir. The lane swap tried to help out.
And all three of my phones went
How
off.
big
Like...
is... Oh, Jesus. That's hilarious.
How big is 6 foot in meters? 1.82. We round it down.
Yeah, 1 point. Yeah, because there's a 1.82 also just 182 centimeters. Right?
182 centimeters. Is it?
No. Is it?
I somehow think you're no. Actually, I don't know. Actually,
I'm pretty sure it is.
Lie down, Stu.
182 centimeters, which is 6 foot. No. 182 centimeters, which is 6 foot, is 1.82 meters. There you go.
Centimeters in feet.
Centimeters. Yeah, it's 6 foot. Just do.
Well, my Google's completely just like quit life because I put 182 centimeters in feet. And it's put 182 meters.
Look at that, 6 foot, 1.8, no, 1.8, 182.88. There you go. 6 foot 1 is 185. I'm not. I don't know if I'm 6 foot 1 or 6 foot. I don't know. Yeah, 100.
Right, we need you to make an emergency GP appointment just so you can check how tall you actually are. Stu.
GP? Why
we need to know.
Why the hell do I need a GP for that? I should get a tape measure.
They can do it scientifically.
That's just effort. That means I have to leave the house.
We'll get Annie to your house. Annie Stark can come to your house to measure you, and then he can go back.
Jesus Christ! This is. We have gone completely off topic here. I don't know. We've gone from talking about Wild Rift to talking about feet, meters, centimeters, how big things are. I don't know what Blam's thinking of when he's thinking of how big things are, but
my kebab, mate. That's how much I'm thinking of how big my kebab is going to be.
Is that what you're having afterwards? You want a big kebab?
I might treat myself to a kebab. It seems to be a tradition with Rift Legends playoffs if I get a kebab or not. But yeah, like you said, I think we've been missing some actually really vital picks here for this draft. So Nautilus coming through again for government. Camille switching sides to government as well is quite a big shift. We see Gwen coming through as well, so I think we are going to see Shen in the jungle, where we're going to see the Gwen up in the Baron lane, Gragas down in the bot lane with support to the Cork, and then we get in the Windshield Master. Mr. has a key to my house, Yasuo in the mid lane.
Interesting. So yeah, it's going to be Shen jungle, which is definitely not a champion that you would pair with someone like Ferox, who's a very solo queue, very carry focused jungler, but might be able to switch things around. Might be actually okay in the end.
Yeah, I'd like to just debunk the NZO's statement in chat. You guys are tall. If you look at every photo of me and Stu, I am very small, so it hits home. So thank you very much for letting me remember that I'm a short king. Thank you. Go next.
Short dwarf. A big beefy dwarf. I love to see it. But yeah, Corky again for Carrot Cop worked out pretty well in game number 2. Gonna be picking up again. Yasuo, Shen, like you said, Gwen in the Baron lane, who did get a buff. Her snips do a little bit more damage. Yeah, in this patch, yeah. Snippity snips do a little bit more damage. Normally it's normal not to have that early of a first blood, so I don't know, these teams are just
strange for government. Strange for government.
These teams are just going all out brawls,
That's
they're crazy like that.
What are we thinking? What's the percentage that government's going to take another dub?
I'm not too sure. Oh my god, they went for it. Jeez.
They tried.
They actually went for another first blood there. They're absolutely crazy in this mid lane, but I'm not too sure. I mean, when I look at the compositions, there's not a lot of range at all on the side of government. They have 2 pretty low range carries with the Karma and the Kai'Sa. Really going to come down to if Baguette can lock down this Kai'Sa. If you can lock down this Kai'Sa, and if she can't really get going, then I think she'll be completely fine. I think that Kai'Sa will be able to pretty much run away with this game, but it is going to be very, very difficult.
Yeah, I think that's the whole point of the Kaiser, and that's why I'm kind of unsure about the pick. Just as a whole, it's just if it doesn't activate, you pretty much just like banish yourself to an L. Yasuo pretty much almost for the second time in the match, almost dying again. Done, having to be a little bit more careful because we have the Nautilus there. Even though even with Gragas supporting you in his lane, he's taking quite a bit of unnecessary damage.
To see how the lanes play out at the moment. Both supports still sitting in the mid lane. It's definitely very different to what we saw in the last series.
Oh, absolutely.
In the last series, we saw very standard lanes across the board, but this time it's just a lot of roaming, a lot of supports prioritizing other lanes and just leaving the bot laners down by themselves. But Baby Hope actually low on HP now as well.
Yeah, the ADC lane, probably the least action-packed lane when it's just 1v1. They're just basically getting CS, getting the gold up as well, just to try and shine later on. I feel like the Corki pick's going to be good, because especially going into these jungle objectives and team fights, especially with the likes of Shen being able to taunt as well, and then having Corki go in to damage, try and get back out of the team fight with another package. And then obviously we've got the Gwen. I'm not too sure how Gwen is going to fit into this, but again, Gwen's one of those champions where you need those 3 items. I mean, I don't know how well this Q buff has been on Gwen, but interesting. We'll see. We'll see.
I'll see how things go. Definitely with Gwen, you just have to wait quite some time for Gwen. Again, one of the scaling champions. You know, we look at scaling on both these two teams. Definitely favor Baguette in this matchup because you've got the likes of Yasuo, Corki as well, and also that Gwen in the Baron lane, which is going to mean that you're just going to do a crazy amount of damage here as we're just kind of battling at the moment in the bot lane. They're just kind of going tit for tat in a way, but no crazy kill pressure at all at the moment. And yeah, kind of just a stalemate at the moment. No teams giving over any early advantages.
No, it's resembling pretty much the same as the first match, other than a few mishaps down in the mid lane onto Don, where he's pretty much seen a near-death experience twice now. It's pretty much the same kind of pace, but however, Zealous was trying to bait Yasuo and the Gragas there. And then Corki and Karma just still doing the same thing, just still duking it out in the bot lane, just trading minions, trading gold, trading Pokemon cards, basically formulating a friendship in the bot lane because they don't want to fall to any ganks, don't want to bring too much attention to them.
It's all gone a little bit crazy.
A lot of plated steel caps though, plenty of plated steel caps.
Which is kind of interesting because Karma and Kai'Sa do a lot of damage. Yes, Kai'Sa does do a lot of auto attacks, but this is probably going to be an AP Kai'Sa build. So with all these plated steel caps, it does mean that this Kai'Sa is going to do a lot more damage than what we kind of
intended.
Expect. Yeah.
Oh, Hextech Ultimatum on to Gwen after the recall cancellation there, having to use the sprint to get out. Okay, Kaiser coming in to the top lane. We see
there's Shen
with the ability to try and block it. Okay, Shen gets first blood onto the Camille. Are they going to actually get one back for themselves? No. After a good rotation, however, it wasn't quite as successful as government thought it was going to be.
I mean, this is the crazy thing as well, is that government basically can't make any plays at all. Every single time government make a play, Shen is just there to ulti. And this is why Shen as a champion is so powerful. You even see it over in China as well in the Wild Rift League Asia. You know, the champion is just so difficult to deal with. Shen farms super quickly, so he can just get his items so quickly, and he doesn't even need to gank any lanes at all. He can just sit in AFK farm the whole time, and when he needs to join the fight, hey, he just presses ulti, and that's all he needs to do.
Yep, and we've seen that switcheroo once again in the in the jungle priority, sorry. So we see the government have gone for Kelly again. I mean, it seemed to be a staple thing that started off their victory in the second match. However, the Infernal Dragon is up first, and we see that Baguette gets it straight in with the Yasuo. Nautilus taking a lot of damage there, but still Karma and Kha'Zix, that are two hard-hitting champions, are still pretty high health. But the engage finishes there. However, we see Camille down in the bot lane. Fair play to government, though, after they did lose a champion up in the Baron lane. They have taken considerable amounts of plated turret plating off of the Baron lane turret as well. So that's a lot of gold. To be fair, it's definitely put them very even in terms of gold now.
I don't know how this game is going to work out. I really don't. Like, both these two teams are so closely matched now, and you can see as the series is going on, you can see that government are just getting more and more comfortable. The first two games were already extremely close, even though Baguette did take both of them, and this one really comes down to the later stages of the game. So I think this early game, nothing really crazy is going to happen in this early game. There's not really much that you're going to do. All gonna be about the late game team fights.
Yeah, I have to give it to government though, having been able to whittle both down the Baron lane turret and the mid lane turret as well to pretty much know how. All it's going to take is like a net positive team interaction on their side to take 1 or 2 kills and then just push those 2 lanes. That's 2 turrets in your back pocket already. And Camille started to take down the dual lane, got a few turret platings, but other than that, it's not really been touched much more. Turret platings will fall, so the dive for gold will be a bit of a standstill. However, I do have to give it to the government for setting up a good Baron lane and mid lane very early on. Oh, Yasuo blocking, but doesn't get the ult block there. Kha'Zix going in with a projectile damage. Yasuo taking plenty of damage there in the back line.
Oh, here comes the Shen ulti.
Shen ulti onto the Gwen ulti. Oh, Kaiser gets taken down in the Baron lane again. She tried to rotate and take down the Gwen, but Gwen struck hard with the snippety snip snip. But Kha'Zix, okay, revenging the Void Walker herself.
Not a bad exchange overall. I mean, they are going to lose the mid lane tower as well, Baguette, but yeah, again, you can see the plays in which, you know, what can happen here with the Shen. The Shen just ulties, and there's not really much else you can do, but there's one champion that Zealous is extremely comfortable on. It is this Kha'Zix. You know, you can... There's multiple times that I've watched this guy play Kha'Zix, and he's just so strong on the champion. Karakot might be in a bit of trouble here, though. Oh, the flash forward, no! Oh, we ignited him. Oh, we got him at least. Wait, there's no way he lives. Oh, no, he doesn't live.
Oh, Kha'Zix is in there, though. Kha'Zix is in there. Try to pick off the Gragas. They do for the 1-1 trade onto the Nautilus. Gwen being left alone in the Baron lane as well. Can they finally get a turret for themselves? Camille takes the last first tier turret already. Pre-10 minutes, first tier turrets have gone for Baguette, which is going to make this next phase of the game pretty hard for them. They have further back to retreat and less field ahead of them in terms of priority pushing these lanes.
This is pretty crazy. Government taking all 3 out the towers, and it does mean that it's going to be very difficult for the side of Baguette to play the rest of this game, especially with their mid lane towers still at 4 HP as well.
Yeah.
And it means that like government have so much room around this map now. They can just walk around wherever they want to. They can catch out players off guard because Baguette have no towers really to fall back to. And that just makes it extremely difficult.
Especially when the dragon's up as well. Like, it would have been nice to have like a bit of a back support onto the mid turret or the bot lane turret as well, just to try and retreat, recuperate if they go into a team fight and necessarily not going their way. But Gragas whiffing that ult again. Monaco is overextending these ult. He's becoming a bit of a sleepy boy. Yasuo taking a lot of damage there.
They're all going to escape with their life though, and it does mean that government are probably going to take this second dragon. Karakop does have the package, so maybe they're still looking for a team fight here. Gwen is also full HP, and she's just going to dash straight in.
Straight in. They get the dragon, though, so government manages to take the dragon. Karakop gets taken out by Zealous there. Nicely done. But government, Gragas going in with the Yasuo knock-up as well. It is currently a 2-2 trade, a 3-2 trade for government, looking for setting up a 4-2 trade for Baguette. Sorry, Baguette going for a 4-2 trade. Yasuo getting a triple kill. Done. Really outshining that team fight there.
Don was very late to that team fight as well. He took a long time to get there. I think he just had to go back to base because he was too low on HP, but he basically wasn't in that team fight until like the last 5 seconds, basically, where he was able to clean up. It was really down to, it was a really good ultimate by the Camille, though, actually stopping the Corki package completely. The Corki couldn't jump in, couldn't package in, because the Hextech ultimatum blocking Corki in its path, and it didn't mean that Karakop was taken down, but overall the Gwen just bide enough time. The same with the Shen as well, and like I said, bide enough time for Yasuo and Don to join back into the team fight, and as soon as Don joins back in, he can just clean up the rest of the fight because everyone is so low on health.
Yeah, and just as before, the Yasuo going for the Solari's Charge Blade first item ever since it's buff as well. It's clearly showing that it's a still fantastic item on Yasuo. With Don being able to secure a triple kill for his team, which has definitely put them back into a resemblance of potentially winning the game. They managed to get 2 turrets, so Gwen got the Baron lane, but then also the dual lane turret falls, but there's a bit of an engage onto the Yasuo here. Nautilus having to retreat straight away. Karma. Okay, Camille going in. Where's that Hextech ultimatum onto the Yasuo, but we see a status come through.
This game is pretty close.
It's a weird one. It's a super weird one. The fact that government did so well setting on that mid and Baron lane, and now it's sort of just like not quite serving as well as
Don?
it's going to be. Oh.
Wait, are they going to take Baron for free here? The flash in! Oh, government take it, but are they going to be able to survive, though? That's the question.
Yeah. Oh, down goes Zealous. Next up is potentially Heaven. Heaven is on the run. Snip comes through as well as Shen. They're looking for a slow with the Gwen ult, but Kaiser melting the Gwen. What was that damage?
The solo isolation damage on the Cathian Rain meant that you just one-shot there. Actually going for Riftmaker as the second item, so going more for the healing in general, but I mean the bad thing is that this could be awful here for Baguette.
Yeah, that wasn't quite the engage I was hoping for. Gragas kind of split them apart, but then Hextech ultimatum pretty much nullified that. But Karakop go down as well. Camille not quite finished there. Karma is in the mix as well for the shield and the movement speed for Camille also.
The isolation damage of Kaiser really coming out on top here. And I'm not too sure why Baguette decided to stay there. They know that the members of government are coming back alive. And they know that they have Baron buff as well. And they might even just try and end the game here.
Yeah, this would be a weird way to end the game. I mean, it's almost going to be potentially a Silver Scrapes here. Double kill for Zealous on the Kazakhs here. I'm not too sure why they allowed the Kazakhs to slip through the net this time around on the side of Baguette. Because, I mean, it's even harder to try and come back from a 2-0. But then when you lose a 2-2, after going, like, back-to-back solid wins, it's going to be a bit of a mental boom for these players on Baguette, it seems. I mean, I wouldn't want to be in that position. Definitely not.
Crazy, and this means that government now are in full control of this game, and maybe we'll be able to get the dream of what you wanted, the Silver Scrapes in the end. Close this out. This will be pretty insane for government to be able to come back into this game.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a standard government resolve, or it'd be a massive government upset, because I mean, government pretty much were they the second? No, it was Kittens who was second, weren't they, in the last one? I think government fell third. But yeah, it'd be nice to see them try and come back and reclaim a place in second. We see Zealous managing to secure the second Drake for the team. Not quite enough to get the Drake Soul, but at least it denies Baguette the Dragon Soul. Wits End on the Shen, because obviously he needs that magic resistance, especially after that Kaiser has just been activated and is going hard on these squishy champions. Just one-shotting some of these champions is just crazy. Bit of a fight going on down in the bot lane. Nautilus going for the engage. Here comes the Kaiser doing a lot of damage. Shen coming through onto the Yasuo as well. Baguette just looks so little health. I just don't think they've got enough to do what they need to do. It's like you said in the opening statement, it's they don't have much range. All they have is the Corki. They're heavily reliant on the Corki just to do enough damage to try and wipe out these squishy champions on the side of government. But so far, it hasn't been that successful with Carrot Cop sitting on 0-3-5. They need a little bit more within that draft, and I don't think they've got it for this match.
The problem is they need this Gwen to get this death cap. As soon as this Gwen finishes death cap, that is such a huge spike for this Gwen, and maybe the Gwen can do enough to carry this game. But at the moment, most of their carries are only on 2 items. You know, Corki 2 items, Gwen 2 items. Yasuo is on 3 items, but it can be a little bit difficult for the Yasuo to go in. They're going to try and go in and try and kill this Nautilus. The stasis, though.
Nice hits.
Protects him for a bit of time. The Shen goes in, but just gets one shot. And the Kaiser's going to be able to clean up this entire fight now. The Riftmaker is online, and that's it. It's game over.
Triple kill, baby. Can she get the quaddy waddy? Oh, she does get the quaddy. Heaven completely carrying once again, even though Zealous had a much better game this time around. And especially with the help of the Camille pick in the Baron lane, made it super duper easy for Government to turn a ploddy match into a bloody match in their favor. Taking it to 2-2, so Silver Scrapes. Hello.
I mean, as I said, like, if Baguette can lock down this Kaiser, then it's not too bad. But the problem is they don't have enough lockdown at all. You know, the lockdown from someone like a Gragas, for example, is just not going to be enough for this Kaiser. And Heaven was just able to run over this game. You know, if you don't have any sort of point and click CC, Vi ulti, Camille ulti, Nautilus ulti, anything like that, this Kaiser is just going to run over this game. Like, insane performance from Heaven on this Kaiser. Really, really strong performance there. And hey, maybe reverse sweep is on the cards here.
It definitely seems like, I mean, it could potentially be on the cards. All they need to do is win this last round. But shout out to Baby Hope, absolutely playing that Karma exactly the same way that as well could be pretty huge. And we're seeing here that Ferox is taking the Kha'Zix pick off of Zealous. He does not want him again on that Zealous, and they didn't on the Kha'Zix, sorry, and they didn't want to ban him either. So bringing out Kha'Zix is probably going to be a good shape for them, especially paired in with the Karma. We saw it last game. It worked very well. I'm sure Baguette can do justice.
Yeah, I mean, it's the type of champion that Ferox loves to play. You know, like I said, them carry sort of champions, like I, said before, Evelyn, Kha'Zix, Lee Sin, these sort of champions is what everyone, watching the stream, everyone that's in this game at the moment playing knows that Ferox is one of them carry junglers that can just dominate solo queue. And sometimes that transition from solo queue into competitive can be a little bit difficult for some players, but Ferox has performed pretty well so far in this series. Struggled a little bit the previous game in with the Lee Sin, but the ban's coming out now, the Lucian and the Kaiser being banned away here for Heaven in that mid lane.
Heaven only knows. I mean, it could be Varus in the mid lane. We don't know yet. I'm going to put it down to the dual lane though, however. But yeah, I think it's really a really good point to ban out the Kaiser, because it just absolutely decimated as it got the as it activated, as it got the 3 items. It started doing the AP damage, just rinsing the isolation damage from Mycanthia Rain, as you said before. And Yone getting banned out here, which I find quite interesting. I don't know what's made them ban the Yone. It's not like Baguette's really played it this series, so
I think it's just another one of Don's picks that he likes to bring out, to be fair. You think of Don, you think of Yone and Irelia with the posters behind him when he's always streaming and everything. So I think it's just a champion that they don't want to deal with. Maybe they know that, they might bring it out in game number 5, but hey, it's just ease of access at the moment. It seems like for the side of government, Camille ulti, Ornn ulti, Varus ultimate. You got, Zealous as well, probably picking up the Vi. Look at this. It's just all these champions are so easy to play, so easy to execute as well. Yasuo again for the Don in the mid lane, but he has a few more knockups now, especially with that Nautilus. It does become a lot easier. Nautilus ulti is one of the high value targets, someone like a Varus or a Corki that's not very mobile. Follow up with the Yasuo ulti and it can be lights out for one of them. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they're gonna adapt in this game, because they could be on the verge of getting reverse swept this game. or series.
Absolutely, yeah. Everything is on the line, so I can imagine that Baguette are going to try and pull out as much as they can in terms of comfort picks. Obviously, Monaco hasn't gone for the Gragas, and neither has the Gragas been banned, so it's clearly not like a top priority pick or steal on the side of government this time around. So, be interesting to see how Nautilus plays in with the Yasuo, like you say, with the knockups. And then we see the Renekton come through again, so Final Wax not going for his Fiora because it's been banned. His Jax has been banned, so he's resorted to the Renekton this time around, rather than the Gwen from last match.
Exciting, exciting times. Here we go. Game number 5. We're going to get straight into it. Gameplay is about to begin.
But to be fair, I mean, we could argue the same issue they had in the last game is going to be the same this game, with the lack of range on Baguette. So they only have the Karma Llama this time around, whereas once again, we see Government going for 2 range champions.
I say the action is about to begin. We have to wait 2 minutes again, don't we?
We do.
Got a little bit ahead of myself.
Gonna begin. Slowly gonna begin.
Here we go. Game number 5.
Set. Macho.
Minions have spawned.
Game number 5. Here we go.
Oh, they're not gonna go for the mid gank. They're not gonna go and sit in the bush like they did for those 2 games. It's definition of insanity. They do the same thing and expect different results, and government are not doing that this time around. But I feel like Baguette have to play this game a lot better, this match at least, because obviously if they don't, they're out. If they do, they're in, and they go against Evergaming Capybari, which I don't know what's worse, eliminating now or playing Evergaming Capybari. I'll leave that one up to the viewers.
Yeah, matchup tomorrow will be quite interesting. Not too sure how much the roster has changed for Capybaras. I think they've kept pretty much the same roster as they had throughout most of the seasons.
It would be beautiful seeing Final Wax go against Zaku in the Baron lane. It would be amazing.
Good old Zaku, the support wonder. Now playing in the Baron lane.
A lot of chats going on once again.
Hey, that's tomorrow. Wait, you know what I just realized?
What?
Baby Hope forgot his item.
Yeah, he has actually. Brain fog.
Baby Hope has forgot his item.
He's got the hope of a baby. He doesn't need a first item. He's all good.
What the hell? I mean, he has a baby brain at the moment, I guess. Hey, Baby Hope, hey. Go back to base. Hey.
Get a refund.
Refund on what? He doesn't have anything. What do you mean refund?
Refund on his baby brain.
Why does he not have an item?
It's a new meta, mate. Have you not seen it? It's like Mobile Legends when some people in competitive go no boots.
Ay, ay, ay. What is happening? I think we've seen it all today. And it's only day number 1.
Oh, yeah. Get it started the way it means to go on. The means of means. The means of memes.
Okay, still having a pretty good trade here, though. I mean, he has 0 mana, so he can't really do anything.
I don't know why he'd use Change Corruption right into Rhetorics. I mean, clearly he had no mana, so he could have the follow-up.
Okay, Baby Hope also has to flash away as well. Because he knows that Ferox is nearby. Ferox does the normal jungle clear, where he just clears every single camp. And he's just waiting for his camps to come back up now. He wasn't able to get any of the Scuttle Crabs, though, so it doesn't mean that Zealous has a little bit of a goal lead, taking both the Scuttle Crabs, which he will be totally fine with there. The main thing with Kha'Zix is just, you kind of just have to scale and wait. You know, nothing really happens with Kha'Zix this early on. You have to wait, get a couple of your evolves, and then you'll be all dandy.
I'm pretty sure Varus got the bot lane score, though. Because he rotated up to mid lane and then was just taking the score at the same time.
Oh, yeah, true, yeah. Oh, no, yes, he did. Yes, you're right.
Stealing gold from his jungler. How dare he?
I mean, I don't even know if Zealous would have been able to get there in time. I think he's just stealing it away from the enemy jungler. So it's actually kind of a smart play to go. But You can see here the Baby Hope is
Outplay.
actually
No
not
weapon.
going for boots, which is quite interesting. Same with Heaven as well, and also Zealous. You know, it's quite surprising to see.
They want no boots. They want that first item first. Give me that big primary item power boost, please. Thank you, thank you.
Very interesting. We don't really see players nowadays going for first items before boots, just because the insane amount of value the boots give you.
How cheap they are. Cheap, cheap.
Yep. Maybe it can go in their favor. We have an engage happening mid lane, but he's tanking tower.
Oh, silly, silly. Zealous getting tanky-wanky by the tower. And then the Orn Hawk comes through. It is a 2-1 trade for Baguetto. Oh, 2-2 trade. Well played there by Baby Hope, carrying the world on his shoulders with his no first item.
That's a bit of a weird engage because Zealous jumped really deep with his ultimate, and he was tanking up the tower, but it's just government outnumbering Baguette, allowing them to get a 2-for-2 trade. That could have gone horribly wrong there for government going underneath the tower, but in the end, a 2-for-2 exchange, not bad.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that Baguette, because they're now on this side of the map, they're actually going to go for the Rift Herald here. But at the same time, we've got Zealous in the mid lane, so it's not too far for him to actually deviate from this team fight here and try and contest the Rift Herald, because so far, Ferrex is not getting that champion too low enough. Not champion, sorry, the Rift Herald. Oh, okay, so we saw the flash
over
through.
the wall.
Yep, exhausted, but it looks like Zealous is going to get taken down. Double kill for Carrot Cop right there. In the river. He is absolutely loving life right now.
Karma not the support this time. Karma the damage dealer getting the double kill there, and that means they get are going to be in full control this early game. The Rift Herald goes over to them, and the Dragon goes over to them as well. You see Zealous, as we both saw, you know, Zealous tried to flash over the wall to steal the Rift Herald, but then he kind of was a sitting duck. He couldn't really do anything. That was the problem. He kind of just stood there. He just couldn't really do anything, and then flashed over, didn't get a Rift Herald, and also died for it. So
yeah, even if he vault breaked out of there, he would have literally come into contact with somebody, which would have stopped him. So he had no means of getting out. So I feel like that was just a complete misplay there by Zealous. He just tried to get the Rift Herald, which obviously would have been great if he could have stole it, because that would have been a huge upset for Baguette. They would have Shelly to drop down in the mid lane. I don't think they'll pop it down in the Baron lane. It'd just be a waste of Shelly right now. But if they can try and whittle down that mid lane turret, try and take a few turret platings before they do fall, and then drop Shelly, I think would be a great opportunity for them to play government at their own game.
very, very exciting.
Oh, Corky's gone up to the Baron lane. Bit of a change. Relic's not actually doing too bad. He's not feeding the Camille. I think that's one of the most important things, is that not letting the Camille get ahead of themselves, because there's not going to be much of a gank from the Vi this time around. Oh, Orn being caught out here. What was the point of that? Orn trying to do some bait and then dies. Vi and then Corky just didn't actually respond.
Yeah, very interesting. Pawn has definitely not had the best of games this time around. It has been very, very difficult for him to try and get this Orn support pick working, which was something that he hasn't played yet in this series, but he brings out in game number 5, and honestly, they are in a whole heap of trouble at the moment. Ooh. Final Wax flashing in. Doesn't get the kill, though. It does mean that Baby Hope is going to get the kill onto Final Wax. Re-engaged. Monaco as well is also probably going to go down here eventually.
3-0 trade potential for the Camille. Oh! That's an upset there for Baguette. I mean, that could have been huge. That could have been a turret takedown in the Baron lane, a kill onto the Corky, which would have been huge for them, and then they could just rotate it around to try and get this mid lane. But unfortunately, Orn is now putting a lot of attention onto the Yasuo, not doing a lot of damage, however, but Varus is very close by.
It seems like a game of mistakes at the moment. You know, both teams just making numerous amount of mistakes. You know, there with Final Wax trying to flash in to kill the Corky, couldn't kill the Corky in the end and just died for it. Then also overextending underneath 2 towers. And they also had government with the mistakes of Pawn this game, and also the tower dive in mid lane. So it's a game of mistakes at the moment. It seems like whoever makes the least amount of mistakes is going to be the one to actually win this. Don actually playing extremely well here. Oh my god, Don, that is beautiful. The way he flashed over his own wind wall there to be able to stop the damage from Corki and get the kill as well. That was beautiful for Don. Trades 1 for 1 in that trades.
1 for Don in the bot lane. Played beautifully by the Yasuo, but Kha'Zix almost getting caught out there. Saved by the Blast Cone. So instead of being saved by the Bell, saved by the Blast Cone, we have that final Wax is in the mid lane, and he's getting absolutely melted down here and gets killed by the Varus. Pit stopped by Varus as well, so it's a 1-1 trade in the mid lane. We see that Zealous is coming through. It's a 2-1 trade now, thanks to the Vi, and here comes Varix taking down the Varus. He overextended a little bit too far from safety under that turret, which was a bit of a mistake, and as we've already concluded, it is just a game to find out who makes the least mistakes. But Zealous, once again, Vault Breaker, dash, gets the karma. Boom!
Doesn't matter though.
Nope, they get the mid lane turret.
Ferox performing really, really well. A champion that he's very comfortable with, and you can see that 2,000 gold lead on the Kha'Zix. This is pretty much what they needed. Just get Ferox on a carry, let him farm up, let him do his thing. Don't do anything too crazy during the laning phase. Don't force yourselves into these early team fights. Let Ferox farm up, and he could be the carry, and that's exactly what he's doing in this game.
Yeah, I mean, Final Wax is not having the best game on this Renekton, but it kind of feels like the Renekton's just being set up there as an engage, because that's all he seems to be doing, is getting the champions pretty low. I mean, we saw a pretty unconvincing go for Corki on ult coming through to deny the Dragon for Baguette. So they are going to deny the Dragon Soul for Baguette here by going in with the ult onto the Renekton, but Kha'Zix taking out Vi as well. Ferox, it doesn't seem like he's done yet. He managed to do a lot of damage onto the Camille, who, however, managed to escape thanks to the Corki as well.
Again, very interesting. Vi going in a little bit too deep there with the ultimate, but they do, as you mentioned, secure the dragon. So that's the big thing. 1 dragon apiece means that no one's going to get the Dragon Soul this time around. We'll have to wait and see if there's any other objectives that these teams might pick up to try and get an advantage. Looking at gold leads at the moment, look at our mid lane gold lead as well. What the hell is happening in the mid lane right now? What's that? 2,400 gold lead in the mid lane, 2,000 gold lead in the jungle, nearly 3,000 gold lead in the jungle. Both Don and Ferox, when it matters most, are stepping up huge this game.
Yeah, Heaven's kind of fallen off a little bit here. He's currently sat on 0-2-3. Not quite his best game. Not decided to go for the 24-second item this time around, though, it seems. We saw it on the Corki in the last... Well, I don't think it was Government who played Corki, was it? It was the... it was Baguette. But, yeah, no Trinity Force going. They're going for the Essence Reaver this time around. It's definitely not working as of yet, but we know Heaven. He's been in this situation before. He could come back easily, I think.
Could be a pick here in this top side though. Monaco again stepping way too far forward here. I have no idea what he's even doing there in the first place. It's like there's no objectives to play around. You're not going to play around Baron. He just stood there to like get a ward down or something. He didn't even get a ward down or anything. Like what's he doing there?
The end goal was not clear to anybody but Monaco, and we'll never know what the end goal was. But we see Carrot Cup going for the Shattered Crown to negate Vi solo targeting her, so completely getting rid of that Vi ult is a good item to go for on the Karma, I believe, because it means that she has more viability in these team fights, keeping Carrot Cup safe and sound so he can see a team fight through all the way and help his team.
Very, very strange here again. It's like both the supports making multiple mistakes this game, both of them not really having the best time right now. Our bot lane tower will eventually fall. That's 3 towers to 1 at the moment. There's still a huge gold lead at the moment for Baguette. So even with that mistake for Monaco, it does slow the game down though ever so slightly here. They're going to try and go towards this Baron. They take this down very, very quickly.
Yep. Final's got to be careful there. He was caught between a Camille and a Vi, and they did start the Baron off pretty fast, but not fast enough.
Dons are going to be able to get stacks here. Ferox just gets over the wall in time. Very, very lucky that he was able to get over the wall before the knock-up came in there for the Ornn. Pawn is in a whole lot of trouble here. And, oh, Ferox might just get one shot here by Zealous. He flashes over the wall. He uses ultimate, and he somehow stays alive. That Vi damage there was absolutely disgusting.
Absolutely. Not even gone for lethality on the Vi, just going for the Trinity Force for those squishy champions like the Kazakhs. But yeah, I mean, very well shut down there by Zealous onto Ferox there. But, however, the gold lead is still in the favor of Baguettes. It's been a little bit stop-start for the past, like, 2 minutes, it seems. There's, like, nothing really going on. The kills have not come up yet. And we are going to be seeing the next dragon, the next final dragon on the map in 24 seconds. Will we see another takedown for Zealous on the dragon, or will we see Ferox get a second dragon? But nobody is going to be getting the Dragon Soul, regardless of what happens in this next jungle objective.
We're going to come down to this next dragon. To be honest, this dragon doesn't really mean that much to these teams. Yeah, in this next dragon basically means nothing at all. But looks like instead they're going to try and look for the fight afterwards. Final Wax is, oh, he's just going in. He's going straight onto the Corki as well. Double knock up for the Yasuo. This could be the fight that Baguette needs.
Oh, Chain to Corruption onto the Nautilus. Taking a lot of damage from that Varus, though. That absolutely shredded Nautilus for whatever health he had. Corki getting the kill onto the Nautilus, however, but we are currently seeing a 1-3 trade for Baguette, which was huge. Yes, they lost the dragon, but like you said, the dragon doesn't really help anybody here because they've just taken 3 more kills. Let's put them up 5k gold. They could potentially get this Baron Nashor now, but they need to know that Zealous is nearby. They just need to keep off of this Baron Nashor. They do have Final Wax here just on the prowl, looking for that Vi, and knowing that the team's got it, he's out of there. He's just going to stop that push in the Baron lane in order to try and further the lanes himself.
Oi, 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 oi. Baguette might have done it. Baguette might have found that one team fight that they needed, a double knock up there. Again, it was kind of what I was saying, you know, they've got the Nautilus now with that ease of access with the ultimate. As soon as that Nautilus ulti comes in, Yasuo can follow up and you can pretty much just one-shot anyone, especially because Don is going for a more damage-orientated Yasuo build. It's not the full tank build that we've been seeing with Grasping Undying. It's full damage, so Nautilus ulti into a knock-up, and it's a lights out for anyone that gets caught by the Don. He's going to try and survive here. I'm not too sure if he's going to survive this time. No. And the problem is that no one is really able to make an advantage. Maybe they can get this top lane tower, but I think Final Wax is dead as well. Yeah, he's taking tower hits as well. And a bit of a mistake here. Don getting caught out in bot side and the rest of Baguette not being able to use any of this advantage for this Baron.
Yeah, I mean, despite the Baguette managed to get the Baron Nashor, like you said, there's just no real push, no real way in onto government currently, because we saw a 2v1 takedown on Yasuo. I mean, I don't know what Dom was thinking going against a Camille and a Vi there, trying to outplay one of them, because neither of those champions are squishy right now. They are pretty much full of health. They have shields. They have plenty of means of getting out of there, plenty of CC as well. So I'm not too sure what was going on with the Yasuo there in the bot lane. But we see the Karma's going for the Ramadans as well, so that's going to be massive damage output for herself now. Kazakh's going for the Guardian Angel as well, giving him second wind in these battles. So even if he does go in and die, he can then jump back at the team fight, reconfigure, and then go back in to try and get some isolation damage. So The Elder Dragon is up in 2 seconds. I think this could potentially be a win condition here for either of the teams, but they are all surrounding it.
Oh my god,
Flawless taking
Karthik's
a lot of damage.
Ferox on the back line. He's just one-shot Baby Hope.
Yeah.
And also the Corki as well. And this could be the team fight that wanted. The Windwall blocks the on ultimate as well. And everyone on government are backing off. That flank from Ferox on the Karthik's might have won Baguette this game. He one-shot both the Varus and the Corki. And the only reason the Corki lived is that he was able to use his package, his passive, to get away to safety. And that is the play that we expect to see on the player like Ferox, and one in the same plane as well. That secures them the Elder Drake.
Yeah, that was a massive gank from Ferox there. I mean, I wasn't too sure how that was going to play out, but obviously we rinsed the damage and the health of the Varus. We saw the status come through. I was thinking, oh no, this is Ferox been baited, but then obviously he had status, he had GA, he was able to get out of there, and it was a huge upset there for government. I mean, Vi was pretty much low health, as well as one of the other champions on their team, and then obviously that set up Elder Dragon. So this next team fight is going to be a careful one for government. They're going to have to approach it with extreme caution because, I mean, Ferox had amazing damage already, but now he's got the buff of the Elder Dragon. It's just going to be huge, and we could potentially be seeing a second Baron here for Baguette. If they do get this, I think that there has to be a way that they win this, but their bot lane looks very risky with the Corki, Camille, and Vi approaching fastly.
I don't think they're going to be able to get inhibitor. They're going to be able to go back with the Baron buff recall here. They're just trying to get a little bit of gold here that they can, but yeah, it's going to be extremely difficult now for this side of government. Both the Elder Dragon and the Baron buff have gone over into the hands of Baguette, and like you said, the likes of the Kha'Zix is going to be able to one-shot more. The Karma's poke damage is going to hurt even more. That chain CC with the Nautilus and then the Yasuo ultimate is going to hurt. Final Wax, as you mentioned, hasn't really had the best of games, but he's going to still be a nuisance. Here comes the Nautilus ulti. No Yasuo ulti to follow just yet.
Take the turret.
And we'll just block the Ornn ultimate as well. And there's a few ultimates down here for the side of Baguette, but I don't think that's going to stop them anytime soon. Baby Hope uses the Ghost. He's going to get a little bit of poke damage, but you can see here that there's not really anything that government can do right now.
Barnabak's going in deep, but the status gets him baited there. He's being baited, but it's not going to be enough. Is he going to go down? His status currently, the meteorite goes off. They are currently down one member on the side of government. The Nexus is bearing thin. Currently, they have Winions at the Nexus gate. Could this be the end of the road for government? Coming from third in the last season of Rift Legends, it is potentially over. The Nexus is still getting chipped away. Here comes the next minion wave with Final Wax down in the mid lane as well. It is pretty much a fight or flight moment. The Elder Dragon buff is over, so they have to prioritize the Nexus takedown, and they do it. Not quite the silver scrapes we were hoping for, but Baguette did the forgetty.
Absolutely insane. From nearly being reverse swept to coming back in that game number 5, and they just said, you know what, just attack the Nexus. We don't even care anymore. Just end this game. Get me out of this game. And that's exactly what they did. They still had the Elder buff. They still had the Barons. They just kept pushing the minion waves over and over again, and eventually they got the victory. But what an insane series that we just seen. I thought government was going to be able to get the reverse sweep, but in the end Baguette come out on top.
Yeah, it was one of those series where you like, we all thought that like government was just baiting those first two wins, and then was like, right, okay, maybe government they got the 2 wins back to back, and then maybe they're just going to reverse sweep it here. But then was it Baguette's plan all along to have just a solid 5 series here, just to see what government could do, and then just whittle them down to this team comp, which it had its moments, but I don't think it was their strongest draft in the entire matchup here. And you can really tell that the giving over of the Kha'Zix onto Ferox, the Final Wax on the Renekton was clearly a thought out play because he wasn't exactly the greatest in terms of kills, but in terms of assists and obviously being in the team fights as well, he was pretty much present all times. And then Carrot Cop taking a while to activate, but as soon as he got the Shattered Crown to nullify any sort of CC ultimates from the Vi, the Vera,